What is good, folks? Welcome to another video from Ultimate Casual Gaming, the home for the casual gamer. I'm just flexing, and in today's video I'm going to give you my reactions to Bungie's competitive multiplayer trailer that was just released last week. Bungie's trailers usually give us some nice nuggets of information on potentially new exotic weapons and armor, as well as gameplay features that we may not have known about or had confirmed to this point. This trailer is no different, and certainly doesn't disappoint when it comes to giving us lots to look at and examine. There's lots to discuss, so let's go ahead and get into the video. So first of all, let me take the time to have a complete fanboy moment. I don't know about you, but that trailer got me hype for some Destiny 2 PvP. Listen, one thing about Bungie, those guys really do know how to put together a trailer. Now, with that out of the way, let's jump into some of what we saw in this bad boy. I've done my best to go frame by frame and pull out whatever I could observe. There certainly were some interesting finds in there, but I'm sure I've missed some things, and there are some things that maybe some of you guys caught or saw in some other videos around the internet, so feel free to drop a comment below. Bungie really does put a lot of little nuggets in their videos for us to catch. So let's jump right into the video. First, the trailer starts off with a pretty cool shot of both of the competitive teams. We see on the left side that there were, four Guardians, primarily Titans. Well, yeah, primarily two Titans, a Warlock, and a Hunter. Nothing too crazy here. I do love the armor sets that we're starting to see come out of Destiny 2. Some very unique pieces. As well as the other team, you see more faction gear. So this is really the first time I think I've seen Future War Cult gear on that Titan. As well as some new Monarchy gear on the Hunter there. The Warlock right towards the front in this sort of greenish, purplish chest piece has a pretty interesting gun there. Looks like could be an exotic kind of handgun. Looks like something that's similar to the Tex Mechanica style of weaponry, so we'll have to see. There's also a dead orbit rifle that we see already in some Vanguard gear. So already seeing some very good armor pieces coming out of this. The next thing that jumped out at me was the Titan that everybody seems to be making use of in their art now, because this is a very distinctive looking Titan. Obviously the green dead orbit gear, that shader looks pretty impressive. It's going to jump out at you, but also look at that gun. I think we've seen that gun in some of the previous trailers before, but this all chroma kind of skin on it, or mod, or whatever they may call it in the upcoming game. Looks pretty cool. So interested to see if that's something that we'll be able to put on numerous weapons throughout the game. One other image that I caught was this interesting one of a Titan. It looks like maybe a Warlock in the background, and they both have these interesting helmets on that look almost like they're chroma filled, if you remember from Destiny 1. So very distinctive looking helmets. Haven't seen anybody kind of note these, but they do look pretty interesting. The next thing I wanted to point out was the Dubious Volley rocket launcher, and look how distinctive it looks in this trailer. We've seen it before in some of the other trailers, but this one has a different look altogether. It looks like it's got some red kind of rusted out chains on it. Looks almost like even a gold kind of rusted look to the back end of it. So looks like they're going to be giving us the ability to change the look and feel of some of the exotic weaponry. Interested to see if that's sort of a modification, or as we saw in Destiny, the original Destiny, exotic weapons were able to get specific skins put on them. So they do like using that gun in the trailers. The other one that jumped out was one that looks like it also is likely to be an exotic. It's this kind of weird weapon. I really don't know what to call it. It looks kind of like a cross between a fusion rifle and a grenade launcher. But we see in the trailer that it takes out 3/4 of the enemy team with one shot. This thing's pretty impressive. So I'm anxious to see what this thing is like and get my hands on it. As well, we saw it looks like to be an exotic shotgun that's also arc. There's that, you can see the little sparks coming out of it from the arc energy type. And this thing looks like it packs a wallop. We've seen it in previous trailers before too. I think the original gameplay reveal trailer had it in it as well. So this is a very cool looking weapon. One thing I noted too, and if any of you guys have noticed this too, if you can let me know whether I'm making this up or if this is something that you guys have seen as well. It seems like in some of the images or throughout the trailer, when a Guardian looks down sights at another Guardian, there's a point at which the Guardian lights up red. I don't know if that's something with just the way that the trailer works, but the Guardian seems to light up red, and then he shoots him. So I don't know if that's a perk maybe that's being activated or something, but I'll point it out in a couple other places that I saw it in the trailer too. And let me know in the comments section if you've seen this or you've heard anything about this. I'm interested to see what that is. Moving on. In fact, the very next one I wanted to point out was this one where it looks like the Guardian is using the sweet business and lights up again. Another opposing Guardian lights up red, and so right before he shoots him. So again, I'm just so curious about what that is. Moving on, we see when the hunter comes out, they do a really nice job kind of calling out the different classes, saying agility, adaptation, and instinct for the hunter. But look at that cool armor set. I think that armor is very distinctive with the gold trimmings. Looks like a Suros potential shotgun right there on his back. Look like even some chroma filled aspects to the chest piece. So very cool and distinctive looking armor. One thing that you notice is this particular part of the trailer moves on. The Guardian pulls out a sniper rifle and looks down his sights, and he gets a warlock in his sights, and he's a full health warlock with his shield up. And as you can see in this picture, I was able to like pause it. It does a 315 damage on a body shot. That's not even a precision shot, and one shots him. So I'm interested to see if that actually makes it to the final build or not, because man, sniper rifles will be pretty easy to use then. So we'll have to all pay attention to that. I know for sniper lovers, this is going to be great news. Moving on to the next thing that I noted, again, another image where it looks like the Guardian has another Guardian in his sights and he turns red first. So that's the third time I've been able to note it. And the other thing I liked about this shot too is that you can see that there's Future War Cult cape there for the Guardian. So more gear for Future War Cult. They're my favorite faction. And the next image I noted was that handgun again. I think that's the same handgun that we see in the opening section of the video, the trailer, where that warlock is holding it. I think it's the same gun, and it's going to be interesting to see if that's an exotic gun or a legendary. Moving on to the next thing that was noted, this has been called out by a lot of folks. It looks like the Heart of the Praxic Fire exotic chest piece was used here on this warlock. I'm interested to see if that makes it into the game or not. It wasn't the greatest chest piece. It looked great. I liked it, even though it didn't work well with a lot of shaders. I did like the look of it. So it'll be interesting to see if they're going to bring any old exotics that were underutilized back into the game and give them better perks so that they're used. Hopefully that's the case. I wouldn't mind it. Next thing to point out is this really cool Titan shot, similar to the one I showed on the Hunter. Just cool defense, integrity, and discipline. You can see that that's going to be the hallmark of the Titan. And what's cool about this shot is you can see that this Titan is, first of all, his armor is really awesome looking, but it looks like it even has a carbon fiber element to it. So it'll be interesting to see if that's a shader type mod, or if that's just sort of a hallmark of this particular armor set. Either way, it looks pretty cool. The next thing I noted too was what looks to be an exotic armor piece for the Warlock. Has the wings on it, so maybe this has something to do with the Warlock ability to kind of float in the air. This class is definitely a lot more aerial now, so this would make sense. So it'll be interesting to see what the perks are on it, but a very distinctive looking armor piece for sure. Again, the Warlock, you can see those wings on the back. Even better in this shot. In the Warlock recovery strategy Arcana, Arcana. I'm not sure whichever word you want to use there, or pronunciation you want to use there, but very cool shot. And then you also see, as that clip moves forward, that the Warlock is using the Sunshot. So for a lot of folks who were curious, it looks like the guns that were used in the beta were not class specific, and that we'll be able to use them on all different classes. I think this was also, I think we saw those same guns on other trailers as well, but I know there was some question around that. Another thing to note here is that you've got 3 power ammo icons on the screen, which would indicate that this is likely, like a match of Clash based on what we see here. So Clash confirmed. Some people thought Clash was out, and looks like it's back in. The other one I noted was you could see they put the Cold Heart weapon back, into this trailer as well, and you can see the Warlock using it. In the video, you see him really aiming down sights, and you see the animations of the gun. Very cool gun. Can't wait to get my hands on this. But what's interesting is as the trailer plays, you see that particular player getting sniped from the back, and you see the Titan running out of this little tunnel. It looks like he's got that exotic sniper rifle that we saw in the first gameplay trailer from Bungie for Destiny 2. It's got that very distinct scope on it, so we'll see. That one also looks to be a very fun gun. Hopefully the perks will match up to the look and feel of it. And then I call out this shot because I love when Bungie does very distinctive looking armor pieces, and this particular set looks pretty cool with the looks like the Crucible style armor with the bird, and you can see the symbols on the arms for Crucible. It's very cool. And the final one that I was going to call out was this Warlock one, which looks like he has on a helmet that looks very much like the Tychonaut exotic helmet from Destiny 1. So it'll be interesting to see if that indeed is a version of it, or like a revamped version of the Tychonaut, or if it's just part of an armor set. As well, you can see here that gun, it looks like the same style of gun, or from the same foundry, but that old style gun from like the Wild West, Tex Mechanica style is in this shot. So maybe that's an exotic, maybe not. And also take a look at the chest piece on this Warlock. It looks a lot like the chest piece that we see the Gaul wearing. So he's got those sort of buttons on it, and if you go back and look at the images of Gaul, he has a similar thing. So interesting to see if they have some Cabal themed kind of armor sets that are going to come out of either the raid or just strikes and things like that. So that's another thing to notice. Again, these are all the things that I was able to pull out. Let me know if you guys come across some things as well that you noted in the trailer. But this trailer, again, was pretty awesome. Got me pretty hyped to play, and there were some questions about time to kill in that. Looked like it was sped up. I didn't really get that sense, but it was so action-packed that I could understand. So all in all, a pretty good trailer, and really sets things up and gets people excited as we get near to launch. With that, I hope you like the content of the video, and certainly appreciate you watching. If you did enjoy the content, a like is certainly appreciated and helps us out. Of course, if you want more content on Destiny 2 and other great games for casual gamers, remember to hit that subscribe button and click the bell next to the subscribe button to get notifications when we post new videos. That's all for now. A sincere thanks to all you gamers out there, and of course to all the filthy casuals. Let's go get our game on.